Hi, my name is Edgar Wilson, Dynamics 365 Technical Specialist here at Microsoft. Allow me to present to you the connected field service experience we envision for Precision Door. We hope that you enjoy it and can envision how this robust solution can help your organization to become more profitable and efficient. Before we embark on our connected field service journey, I'd like to set the groundwork for what you can expect to see during the demonstration. We'll first start from a customer service perspective. We'll actually receive an incoming call. From that call, we'll create a customer as well as a work order specifying the customer's issue. And then from there, we will actually go out and schedule that work order and provide the customer some dates and times that we have techs available. To conclude the customer service aspect, we will actually enter the rest of the customer's information in the system. Then we'll transition to the role of a tech, where we will actually pick up that work order within the mobile. We'll review our schedule for the day, as well as being able to perform the estimate tracking, which is needed at Precision Door. And then we will conclude with the work order completion process, from gathering signatures to being able to actually scan in customer assets. And then we'll conclude the demonstration with a view of some of the out-of-the-box analytics that we bestow, as well as those from Power BI, which we have a very tight integration with. So with no further ado, I'd like to present to you the Connected Field Service experience brought to you by Power Objects and us here at Microsoft. All right, so here we are within the customer service solution for Dynamics 365 known as Unified Service Desk. And a little background about Unified Service Desk. It's a customer service application that installs to the customer service rep's computer that encompasses customer service specific functionality, such as the ability to have that built-in integration with Skype for Business that I know Precision Door needs, to be able to resolve contacts as they call in to see whether or not they already reside within the Dynamics database. And if not, you actually have the ability to proactively create a contact based on their phone number information. So first things first, we're met here with our dashboard, so you can see our customer service representative dashboard that we have. And right now I have just a few basic charts that come out of the box, such as the origin of the case, the incident type, active cases by agent, as well as a list of cases. Then you can see here that I also have the relationship assistant, which keeps me abreast of the fact that I haven't had any activity with this case since March 6th, so perhaps I should take a look at that. So we'll get into the analytics portion a bit later in the demonstration, but right now we want to actually demonstrate a call coming in from a customer that is not in the database. So let's actually come here. I'll enter a phone number that I know is not in the database. We'll click Simulate. And what you'll notice is that we are met with the telephony system over here to the right, IntelliCTI. So I'll go ahead and answer this. And the first thing you'll likely notice is that no matches were found. So it scoured the CRM database and was not able to find someone with this phone number, which you can see here. So here I have the ability to actually create a caller record directly from within this integration. So I could create this as a contact, an account, or a lead. This can also be configured. So by default, I'm just going to use a contact. And let's say this is Jimmy Buffett. And the account, we'll just say cheeseburger account. And job title is a rock star. And we'll go ahead and create this. So notice when I create this, it will actually launch a new session for Jimmy Buffett directly within the Unified Service Desk. So it'll bring up all of the contact information for which I've entered. Here I could search on the knowledge base once this contact has resolved. And then over here we'll also walk through the call script, the ability to set up a call script for as customers call into the customer service center. So as you can see, It's created our contact record here based on that call coming in, which is Jimmy Buffett. So actually, let me make this screen a bit wider. And I have the ability to automatically minimize this customer or this KB knowledge search here. And as you'll see to the left, our call script is actually resolved Jimmy Buffett's name. So welcome Jimmy Buffett. Thank you for contacting Woodgrave Bank. Obviously this would be Precision Door. And my name is William. How may I help you today? So this is all configurable for what you can see here. We could either say, hey, this is a new service request or an existing service request. I could see any cases or work orders that are currently open. Obviously this is a new customer. So there isn't going to be anything there yet. And I could also associate notes here as well. But this is kind of the basic out-of-the-box configuration for the call script. So we'll leverage kind of the out-of-the-box method over to the right for entering a work order. So let's say that, Jimmy has an urgent matter where his garage door has completely broken. I'll just click this plus here on this work order information subgrid to actually create a new work order. And what you'll notice is that we're actually met with what is called in Dynamics CRM as a quick create form. So here I'll just create a quick summary. I'll say garage door repair. We'll go ahead and enter an address. Let's just say it's 123 Elm Street. The state, let's say we don't know the actual city, but I know what state I'm in. Notice that once I click off, it will automatically resolve an address that it found. So did you mean 123 Elm Street, New Canaan? Of course I did. So I'll click there and it'll automatically enter that information. Here I can select a primary incident type, and this is really great functionality to be able to create metrics based on this. Perhaps we want to see how many work orders are coming in about this door spring replacement. Do we need to have some type of recall, or do we need to ensure that these are put in more securely, whatever the case may be. And notice when I selected that incident type, the incident estimated duration has automatically resolved due to the fact that it was associated with this particular type of incident. So 50 minutes is the estimated time that it should take to repair a door spring. Also notice that the work order type was able to be resolved. So if we want to see this at a higher level, let's just say, a door spring replacement is a repair. And then, you have that kind of that parent relationship there intact to also perform some metrics off of. So I will actually associate a service account. Here we have our system status. So this is letting us know that this is currently open and has not been scheduled out to someone on the team. And here I could associate a priority as well. So let's say this is urgent. We need to get this taken care of as soon as possible. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and click save on this. And what you'll notice is within our contact record, now we have that new work order right here. So now let's go ahead and Mr. Buffett would like to get this scheduled out as soon as possible. He needs a tech. He's unable to get his car out of the garage or into the garage. So here we'll just give you a little bit of the lay of the land on the work order. So first things first, you're met with this business process. So this is also something additional that will allow you to ensure that you're taking the same steps for every customer that comes in. This is really more for the tech that's actually addressing this. So for instance, we have these 3 stages here. There must be a couple of things that he must adhere to initially, and then he can progress this to the next stage. And we'll highlight this a bit more within the mobile application for field service. And as you can see down here, we have some other work order information. So I can see the service account, the billing account, the primary incident, any incidents here, which is this door spring replacement. I have the social pane here, which I could associate phone calls or any notes. I can say, this is let's just say this is a famous person. Please be careful, because we do not want to mess up Jimmy Buffett's garage. That would be bad. And also down here, you can see some work order totals. So let's say as certain things are needed, we're racking up some charges here, that can automatically be resolved here to the totals, and we'll show this also a bit more within the mobile. So now that we've entered this work order information, we need to go ahead and schedule this. I can click here on the schedule assistant, and what this actually will do is open a separate form, which you can see here. So this is our schedule board. And as you can see, we have our resources over here to the left. We have Allison, Ashley, and notice as I hover over these, I'm able to see their skills as well as their roles. So, if we want certain individuals to work on door springs, but other individuals to work on actually, building out the garage doors or what have you, we can associate those skills here. I also have the ability to contact them via email or utilizing the Skype for Business integration to message them. So here you can see the schedule board. We can currently see, who's booked out. So, I can say, hey, Mr. Buffett, we can have someone out to you as soon as 9 a.m. He's like, great, that would be perfect. So all I'll need to do based on this work order that I just created here is actually drag this up. So I'll associate this to Ashley. Let's just say that she's within close proximity to Mr. Buffett, or actually Allison, rather. So here I can say, okay, I know this said 50 minutes, but perhaps, this is actually going to be a little bit longer than that. Let's just say it's an hour and a half. I could drag this out if needed. So now Allison has been booked to this particular project, and let's say this one, it's a little less urgent. We can book this to another resource that has, doesn't have anything currently. So all this is very simple to use. I can also see this from a map perspective as well. So if I wanted to see the proximity of, where one of our resources are, or, want to see the travel time that it would take to get there, I could certainly do that. And also a really nice function that is new to Dynamics 365 is known as resource scheduling optimization. So what this can do, it can automatically schedule out your work orders based on the proximity, travel time, based on the workload of an individual. So we wouldn't even have to actually drag these onto the schedule board. It could automatically resolve that and then just give us a time that we can ensure that our customer is available for. So all of this information all of this functionality rather is built directly into the connected field service solution within Dynamics 365. All right, so now that we've created, scheduled out our work order, we want to go back over here. Let's say we want to gather some more information from our customer, Mr. Buffett. So I'll come over here to Mr. Buffett's contact record. And I could gather the rest of his information, his phone number. Maybe I want to grab his Twitter account to, maybe do some marketing campaigns via Twitter or Facebook, what have you. I could automatically create an estimate here directly within the form, but we'll save that for the actual mobile version. So as we end this call, I'll go ahead and click cancel here. Now I can actually go ahead and see that this screen here is giving me a telephone call wrap-up screen. So I can write a quick synopsis of what occurred on this call. So I'll just say, call with Jimmy Buffett, scheduled a tech for today at 9 a.m. He was an awesome guy. Great. And then I could also create a follow-up for this. So let's say, we want to create a follow-up, 2 days after this to follow up with Jimmy Buffett to ensure that, he was satisfied with his customer service. And we also have the ability to send out the surveys directly from Dynamics 365, leveraging the voice of the customer solution. So all of this is built directly within this connected field service solution. And now as we conclude the customer service portion, we'll transition to the role of a tech who's actually going to be within the mobile device addressing the work order that we just created. So I'll just click here to exit out of this session, and now we will transition over to the tech. Okay, so here we are within our mobile device, and one thing to keep in mind is that you can download the application directly from the Apple Store, Google Play Store, whatever your favorite device is or your tech. They'll have the ability to utilize that for the field service application. And it also works on tablets as well, so whether it's a phone or a tablet, they will have the ability to download and leverage their favorite mobile device. So the first thing that we want to do is, since we've been scheduled out, you can see here that we automatically receive a text message from William Gates III, who is the scheduler in this case. And I can see that it says, "Hello, Allison Dixon. You've been scheduled for repair at Jimmy Buffett. Please access the field service application and accept this booking, and also call Mr. Buffett and let him know you're on your way." So this is really nice in the fact that whenever a work order is dragged onto that schedule board, we can automate a text message to that tech, either with the address information or phone number of the customer that they'll be working with, or any other additional info. We can send emails, what have you. So that's really nice to have at your fingertips. So let's actually access the mobile application, which you can see here. Notice that it's been themed to match that of Precision Door, so the color as well as the title has been updated. But as a tech, the first thing that I want to do when I come within this application is actually look at my dashboard. So this actually lets me see a list of the work orders that I have to work on for the day. So here I can see I have quite a few for this week that I need to get addressed. I can also access charts directly from here. So here on this dashboard, I'm able to see the work orders by the type, whether they be service calls, inspection, repairs. I can actually click into this to kind of filter down this data if I wanted to see, okay, when was this created? So really nice to have this all at your fingertips. And also I can see a list of the work orders that I have here in the system for me. So let's hop back over here and go into a work order. So let's go here into a booking. So as you can see, this booking has some of the high level information, the work order that this is associated to, the booking status, which in this case is scheduled since it has been associated to a resource, in this case Allison Dixon, on the schedule board. But as a resource, I can actually come in here and let the internal scheduler know that, okay, now this is in progress. And what that does is it actually updates the work order internally on the schedule board. So you have the ability to associate a color with a particular booking status. So let's say in progress makes the work order red on that schedule board. That kind of lets the scheduler assistant know where you are in the process of addressing this work order. Here I could adjust the time that I started, what time I arrived, in time, the duration, which has kind of been pre-filled, but I could come here and say, okay, yeah, I may need an hour and 50 minutes instead. I can say here, I'm guessing I may travel about 15 miles to get there, so on and so forth. But all of this can actually be automated as well through the turn-by-turn direction, as well as other facets that we have here in the application. So I'll save this, and now it'll actually sync all of this data back up with my Dynamics 365 database. So now internally they'll be able to see the status of this booking. So let's hop into the work order itself. And as you can see at the top here, we have a few things that we could actually address, and we'll kind of go step by step with this. So here we can see our basic info, the service account, priority, those instructions that I wrote in the notes section earlier, that's associated as well, a work order summary, as well as here we have our address information, which we can see. And I actually have the ability to come up here, click on this map, which you can see here, and get turn-by-turn directions leveraging the native navigation tool for the device. So it'll automatically kind of give you that functionality, which you can see here. It looks like I'm about 33 minutes from this site here in Marietta, Georgia. So let's flip back over here. So all of that is right here at your fingertips. I can also see an estimated subtotal for what this job may cost. Now, estimates was a big thing for Precision Door. Being able to give a kind of a good, best, or absolute best, so to speak, estimate was something that was definitely needed. So we've configured a basic kind of estimates tool here that allows the user to create estimates, or in this case, this has already been pre-filled based on the incident type. So you can kind of predefine, these estimates and the products that will be associated based on the incident type. So in this case, it was a garage door spring replacement. So it's created these estimates. But I'll go ahead and show you what these look like. So I'll click here on gold, and you can see here that it has the type as well as the total, which is all being brought in based on the products that will be needed, which are associated here. And I have the ability to add products as needed. I could go here and say, okay, I'm going to need a one of these right here. Select my unit as well as the price list. So I have the ability to associate additional products if needed. I'll kind of discard this for right now. And let's say that the customer wants to go with the gold package. I can just click yes here to say that's the one that they want to go with. And as you can see, we have our bronze and silver still marked to no. So this could lock those down. So, and this is at a very high level what we're thinking as far as the estimates are concerned, but certainly there are many options that we could actually configure here in the system. Here we can see a list of service tasks. So these are things that will need to be done for this particular type of service. I can see, we need to do a door springs check, roller check, door spring ecker, and as well as a door bottom weatherer. So, those things can be kind of systematically added based on the primary incident type. I can see also the services that could be associated with this. So, due to the fact that we're doing a door replacement, we have to install a new spring. And we can also see here the products that are associated. So let's say that we've gone through, we've addressed all of the service tasks, which you have the ability here to say, okay, I'm 100% complete with this. I'll just save that. We're 100% complete with this, so on and so forth. And then actually gather a payment. So here I can click this plus, associate this to a billing account. Let's just say it's Jimmy Buffett. The amount in this case will be $5,000, which all of this can be automated based on that estimate. And then we can say it's a credit card. So let's actually do the date as well. And Power Objects has the ability to actually process payments and then filter that data directly into the mobile app. This is me doing it manually, but this is certainly something that can be streamlined through the tools that Power Objects has. So let me save this, and you can see that now we've saved our payment information, and you can see it there. So now last step in this process will be actually gathering a signature. So I'll come here. The customer wants to add a signature. I'll just do mine. Save this. And now all of this has been gathered on this particular booking, and now we're ready to close this out. So now I could just come here, say completed. And now this will show as completed and could even be moved out of my list. Okay, now let's address the next booking that we have. So this is kind of the mobile app at a very high level based on the process that we gathered from you. So this can certainly be configured numerous ways to address all of the kind of internal processes that you have. And now we'll go ahead and transition over to the analytics portion of the demonstration. So here we are within the browser-based version of Dynamics 365. And as you can see, we're on a prospective field service social dashboard. So I'll give you a brief walkthrough of the lay of the land here of some of the facets you're seeing on this dashboard. So here you can see a prospective active work orders by type. So based on the work orders that we have in the system, it's deriving a bar chart based on those types of work orders. So here we have about 52 in inspection, another 87 that are service calls, about 19 that are in, repairs. And one of the really nice functions of Dynamics 365 is the ability to actually be able to click into these charts and derive other charts or filter on this data. And not only that, we can actually export this data to Excel, leveraging that really tight integration with Office products. So here I can click on this view button, and what you'll notice is over to the right we have our active work orders by type chart, and to the left we have the data making up this chart. So if I were to click on this service call portion, you'll notice that it filters down this data that I see over here to the left, and this same holds true if I were to click on inspection. Now let's just say, for instance, I wanted to see the city that these work orders are coming from. I could select city in this drop down, and then here I can see that it looks like, okay, New York is making up a good bit of those, as well as Seattle. So really nice functions to have right at your fingertips and be able to make sense of your data. And the other portion we discussed is actually being able to export this to Excel. So you have three methods of exporting this. You could do this in an Excel Online version, which leverages your Office 365 environment. You could do this as a static worksheet, or this can be a dynamic worksheet, which will allow you to update this data and filter it back into Dynamics 365. So this really speaks to that really tight integration with Office products. Dynamics 365 as well as the Office 365 platform are built in conjunction with one another. So that can certainly be seen as you move through the system. So here we have another work order by service territory chart, which is really just a breakdown of where these work orders are based on your territory. So it looks like we have 72 in Mid-South, another 51 in Mid-Atlantic, so on and so forth. So you also have the ability to click into any of these charts that you see here and perform your filtering. Also wanted to highlight the integration with Yammer. And for those who aren't familiar, Yammer you can think of as like a Facebook for your organization. So it gives yet another means of communication amongst the team. So if I wanted to post articles, or if I had a question that I wanted to pose to the entire organization or just a subset of the organization, I could do that leveraging Yammer. And one of the really nice functions is the fact that as a Dynamics 365 user, I'll be able to leverage Yammer. But if I'm an Office 365 user that doesn't have access to the Dynamics 365, I can still see those posts made by a Dynamics 365 user. So really nice functions to have, and it ensures that collaboration is actually going on internally. Here in the bottom left, you can see a nice bar chart that shows the active cases by agent. So as your work orders come in, you'll be able to see in a really nice bar graph or pie chart or whatever method you like to see it in, you know, how many cases or work orders are open for a specific tech or a customer service agent internally. And I can also see those bookings that are out here. So the resource that's actually been booked, their start and end time, the duration, booking type, the status, so on and so forth. And I have the ability to select multiple views or create a personal view if needed. And one of the other nice functions of Dynamics 365 is the ability to create my own personal dashboards. So let's say, for instance, you know, I'm not a big fan of the field service social dashboard and I want to create my own. I have the ability to derive my own separate dashboard by simply clicking the new button at the top, and then I can select the charts that I'd like to append to this particular dashboard. And I'll just do a quick example to say, okay, maybe I want to see the active work orders by type. I also want to see a view of my account types, or actually let's do the another work order type, let's say by incident type. Then I want a view of my contacts, so I'll just select contacts here. And then perhaps I want an iframe that shows me the Precision Door website. And that quickly, I've been able to create my own personal dashboard, which now I will be able to share out with my team. Perhaps I want to assign it to, some of my colleagues. Whatever the case may be, you have that ability within Dynamics 365 to create charts and dashboards that make sense to you and help your organization to become more efficient. So let's go back over to our dashboards. And now we will hop into the Entella CTI dashboard. So based on that earlier customer service kind of experience that we broke down, you're able to see the information regarding those calls. So I can see as soon as this chart comes up, kind of the top 10 contacts, who's contacted us the most, call history, whether those calls were established or missed. What is our average call time in seconds, most calls, which obviously it's going to be our test user, William Gates III. And then here I can see who I talked to the longest. So, it looks like Kelly Clarkson was quite a while, Adam Jeffries here, Edgar Wilson, so on and so forth. So you have the ability to actually see and make sense of those calls that are coming into customer service to make your team more efficient. Perhaps there needs to be a tweak to the call script or the process for entering a work order. This will certainly help with that. So now we'll transition to a prospective Power BI dashboard. So little brief synopsis of Power BI. It's a very powerful analytic tool that can bring data in from multiple sources. So let's say, for instance, you have two peripheral databases that you want to mesh with your CRM data. You could certainly do that leveraging the content packs included within Power BI, and you can also create custom connections to bring that data into Power BI. So as you can see here, this is a kind of a view of my CRM data. So, the name of our customer, incident type, city, state, the estimate package that was chosen. But one really nice thing is that if I click on, let's say, this portion of the chart where it's kind of breaking this down by city and the incident type. So let's just say I want to see all of the pulley adjustments in Atlanta. I could click on this portion of the chart and it will automatically filter this data down and also show me this on the map. So if I had my customer addresses in there, it would actually pinpoint their exact address. And notice that this filters down this chart over here to the right, which is showing me the incident type based on the package chosen. So for instance, if I wanted to see all of those structural damage gold packages, I could click this portion of the chart, and then it would actually dwindle down this data that I see here. So that's really nice functionality to have right at your fingertips. And another function of Power BI is actually being able to leverage the dashboard within Power BI to ask questions about your data. So what I'll do now is I'll actually open Power BI, and we'll go in and we'll actually ask some questions within a dashboard that I've created for Precision. So as soon as this comes up, okay, so let's go over here, and here we can see our Precision Power BI dashboard. So let's say, for instance, I wanted to ask, okay, which resources had the most gold packages? I can see here that it looks like Jimi Hendrix has sold the most gold package estimates. And then, if I wanted to see this in a pie chart, I could do, just say pie here, and it would show me this in a different view as well. And I could also say, which city had the most repairs. Oop. And it looks like Atlanta has had the most repairs, followed by Nashville, Tampa, so on and so forth. So the ability to actually be able to come in here and utilize natural voice to ask questions about your data is extremely powerful and something that you can certainly leverage. And then you could work with this directly within Power BI, or you could leverage the Dynamics 365 platform. So that's just a brief overview. I hope you enjoyed it. We will be on hand for any questions that you have. And please let me know if there's anything we can expound on. Dynamics 365 is a very robust platform. It contains not only the field service and customer service capabilities that we showed, but it also offers Salesforce automation, project service, social listening, which I think could be of interest to kind of gauge what your customers are saying about Precision Door out on social media. So being able to bring all of this data together to make sense and really kind of raise customer satisfaction is something that we specialize in here at Microsoft, as well as on the Power Object side. So I hope you enjoyed the presentation, and we'll address any questions you have. Thanks.